A lot to cover, so I'm starting with the AG. I want you to tell me whether or not it's lawful or lawless, ignoring court orders,
That's lawless.
impounding congressional funds,
Violates the law.
invoking emergency powers when there is no emergency,
Unlawful.
sending troops without an invite,
Violates the law.
covering for pedophiles. I just threw that one in there. Okay, I'll move to the next one. What about revoking birthright citizenship?
Violates the 14th Amendment of the Constitution.
How about violating due process?
Violates the 5th and 14th Amendment of the Constitution.
How about what we see happening with redistricting that would in some way minimize, if not delete, the voices of people of color as they are going through and illegally going through this process? Is there a constitutional amendment that you can think of that is associated with that?
Probably many, but it is
Okay.
unlawful and unconstitutional and un-American.
Thank you. As well as, can you tell me if it is lawful or lawless to violate free speech?
That's lawless.
Okay, sounds about right, because, we had to have a conversation about Jimmy Kimmel, so I'm going to say free Jimmy Kimmel for sure, and hopefully we will deal with the FCC chairman. But the reason that I wanted to go through that long list, and that was actually not even the half of it, is because since this administration has come in on January 20th, they have engaged in some form of every single thing that I said on that list, even the part about covering for pedophiles.
Capitol Hill hearing room. The American flag looms behind the panel. Cameras flash. Reporters whisper. The tension is thick. The chamber is silent until Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett leans forward. Calm, steady, but ready to detonate. Let's make this plain. Ignoring court orders? Lawless. Impounding congressional funds? Lawless. Invoking emergency powers when there is no emergency? Lawless. Sending troops without an invitation? Lawless. She pauses, then fires the line that stuns the room. And covering for pedophiles? Lawless. Gasps ripple through the chamber. But she doesn't stop. Revoking birthright citizenship? Violates the 14th Amendment. Violating due process violates the 5th and the 14th. Racial gerrymandering, unconstitutional, un-American, and unlawful. The Attorney General shifts in his seat. Republicans frown. Crockett doesn't blink. Crockett, voice rising. Let's talk about free speech, because this president didn't just violate it, he weaponized it. He tried to silence comedians, sue the press, crush dissent. Free Jimmy Kimmel? Yes, but also free the truth. She slams a folder on the desk. Inside, a list of names that should never have walked free. Donald Trump pardoned men who should still be behind bars. Rapists, pedophiles, domestic abusers, terrorists. Theodore Mindennorth, convicted of sexual assault of a child, pardoned. Peter Schwartz, 38 prior convictions, domestic violence, assault, pardoned. David Daniel, child pornography, pardoned. Casey Hopkins, convicted of forcible rape. He choked his victim, smashed her head into a wall, urinated on her, and Trump set him free. The silence in the chamber turns suffocating. Crockett, furious now. This is the man Republicans call law and order. Law and order? He is the disorder. He is the crime. He instigated the insurrection. He armed the streets of D.C. with predators. And somehow, he still walks free. She leans closer to the microphone. Quiet. Cutting. As a defense attorney, I never once had a client with 34 felony convictions who spent 0 days in jail. Never. Until Donald J. Trump and the so-called Party of Law and Order crowned him their nominee. She stares across the room, unflinching. Final blow. History will remember this moment. The day Republicans defended a criminal, and America watched Jasmine Crockett call it what it is, lawless. Camera pans across the stunned faces in the room. Fade to black.